I think I have found the answers to all of our digestive problems. As many as you guys know, I suffer from bloating quite frequently, and I was diagnosed with IBS a couple of years back. Now, IBS stands for Irritable Bowel Syndrome, and it's a common disorder that affects the large intestines and digestion. IBS can be triggered by diet, stress, poor sleep, hormones, and changes in your gut bacteria. And for those of you that are not familiar with IBS or feel that you might be suffering from it, these are the symptoms. 1, cramping. 2, constipation, diarrhea, or both. 3, gas and bloating. 4, fatigue and poor sleep. And 5, anxiety. Now, around 70% of IBS sufferers have stated that particular foods do trigger their symptoms. Some common triggers do include FODMAP foods and even stimulants like caffeine. Annoyingly, the precise cause of IBS isn't known, and there is actually no cure for it. But for those that do have it, we can manage our symptoms and live with IBS by managing our diet. So I wanted to know if I could find out what exactly causes me to have IBS and what foods were causing my triggers. You know, I had a rough idea of what it could be, but I didn't have concrete evidence, and I still don't to this day. And that's when I came across a brand called FoodMarble, which is this device here. Now, this little gadget here is your own pocket-sized personal digestive tracker. What is it, you might be asking? Well, it's a breath analyzer that measures which foods you can digest most successfully. And it does this by analyzing the hydrogen in your breath. So I'm going to be using this for around 2 to 3 weeks to see if it can help me show exactly what foods are triggering my digestive issues so I can avoid them in the future. Hey guys, so we are on day 2 of using the FoodMarble, and so far so good. Honestly, this device is so bloody easy to use, and especially the way it connects to the app. It prompts you to take breath tests, it has instructions and guidelines, so you honestly couldn't ask for a more seamless and easy system to use. For day 1, I did the lactose test because I thought, you know, why not jump in the deep end? And again, it was so easy to use. I was told what to do, and I was told to test every 15 minutes. I can report that it told me that I did not have the lactose intolerance, which I did know. So that's good to know, but I just don't really like eating cheese or milk anyway, so I will be avoiding that. But again, it was really great to know that that wasn't causing me any digestive problems. But as we progressed throughout the day, my numbers were staying low. However, after I had my dessert, I would maybe call it, I had oats, almond milk and peanut butter. My stomach reacted. I bloated out, which you can see here in the photo, and I started having really bad cramping pain. So I put everything into the app, I blew into the device, and it went from low to medium. So my body was definitely reacting to something, but I don't know what. And again, for day 2, I woke up this morning and I had eggs, blew into the device, and as you can see here, it said that again, it went from low to medium. And basically what I really liked about this was when I pressed more to explain what medium meant, it said that basically the food that I ate, so the eggs, basically hadn't digested and they were still fermenting in my gut, which isn't a bad thing. It just means that my body is slower to digest eggs, which kind of knew, but this has kind of really cemented it for me. So really glad I have this device and I can pick up on certain elements. So I'm going to continue using it, and I'll give you guys my feedback as we go along. This is my favorite spot, which you guys have probably gathered from all the filming, because I just love it. And I got my little fairy blanket. Anywho, the clocks have gone back and forward. I can't remember which one, but it's so dark, and all it's making me want to do is stay in my pajamas and in this fluffy blanket. Anywho, so we are on day 4 now of trying out the FoodMarble, and I'm literally obsessed. I'm carrying this every place that I go in my bag. because it's pocket size and it's so portable, but it's just amazing to see how my body's reacting to certain foods, even if I thought that I was doing fine on something, just to see from this gadget that I'm actually maybe not digesting things as well in my stomach. So that has been honestly so helpful. But the reason why I wanted to jump on here was because we're only on day 4, but I went out for dinner on a Friday and I went for Indian food, and I could feel that I hadn't digested the food correctly. But what's so amazing is you can see on the screen here that I actually had a score of 10, which is the highest that it literally can go. And it just reflected that my digestive system wasn't digesting my food, so my gut just wasn't reacting very well, and there was still fermentation going on in my stomach. So what was so good is that I could put all my food into the app and I could roughly see what I was reacting to. Now, I still haven't pinpointed it exactly. That's why I'm going to do a couple more of these tests, but it's just a great path that we're going on already to see. So I'm really excited about that. And also yesterday I had some food just at home, and again, I had a very high score. So again, I think it was like 9.9. So what was so crazy again about that is that I could roughly see again what was causing it. So I think it could be inulin, but I don't know. So what we're gonna do tomorrow is we're gonna do one of the challenges, and we're just gonna do the test. We're gonna test every 15 minutes with this device, and we're gonna see if I react to that. So I'm really excited about seeing what is causing my stomach to flare up with some of these foods, and hopefully be able to pinpoint exactly what is causing me not to digest food in my gut. So super excited. That's update day 4, and I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow. We're on day 8 now of the FoodMarble, and I'm still really enjoying using this app. It's been great to track everything. So after our last conversation a couple of days ago, I was taking the inulin test. Now, as you can see from the results, everything went absolutely fine. I had really low scores during the whole challenge. So that proved again that we don't have an issue with inulin. So far, inulin and lactose are absolutely fine, and we don't have an issue with those. Now, one of the things that I have been doing over the last couple of days is trying to figure out why I had high fermentation scores, especially on the night that we had Indian food and the following morning. Now, one thing that I have noticed is I don't eat a lot of garlic, and garlic is definitely something that was prominent in the food the other night. Now, I've been talking to the team at FoodMarble, and they also have agreed that it could be something to do with garlic or onion. So I'm definitely going to test that out over the next couple of days. I'm going to get some garlic and I'm going to try add that into a meal and see if I get the same symptoms and a high fermentation score in that. So this is going to be amazing to track with the FoodMarble to see if that does cause me any issues. Along with that, I have noticed that when I cut down my courgette, now the thing that we'll actually be able to test the next day is fructose, and that's something that we could also have an issue with, but I'm going to test it again in the next couple of days, and of course I'll bring you on the journey. But I have a feeling that when I lower my courgette levels, I don't get as much bloating, which is quite funny. When I do have high levels of it and I eat a lot more courgette, then I do get symptoms such as bloating. So there could be something in courgette, like I just said, that is causing me to have the symptoms, because if you have a high quantity of it, it can be quite high in the FODMAP diet. So I'm going to test that as well in the next couple of days and let you guys know how we get on. And also let's see what the FoodMarble says with definitely garlic and courgette, and I'll keep you guys updated. Hey guys, so it's been a couple of days since my last update. Everything's been going really well actually. I did try some garlic in my food, and weirdly enough I didn't have a reaction, so I guess that's a good thing because I thought maybe I would, but I didn't. So to be honest, I think the reason why I reacted to potentially the Indian food, and maybe sometimes when I react to Nepalese food, it can be they might have MSG in. I'm not too sure, but I know I do react when I do have MSG. However, super interesting, since using the FoodMarble, I have noticed that when I do eat a lot more courgette, I get severely bloated, and I get like IBS symptoms where I get bloating, cramping, and I have to go to the toilet. So that is when I have a lot of courgette. When I have it in small portions, it's fine. So the FoodMarble has really helped me target that and see what has caused the issue. And I have noticed today as well, since I have done the breath test, that I was reacting to something that I had last night because the food was still in my gut. I hadn't actually digested, so it was still fermenting. So it's really handy to see that when I do go out, I react to certain things compared to when I do cook indoors. So I'm really enjoying this gadget, and I can actually see me just continuing to use this, especially in situations where I might eat different foods, go out for dinner, or maybe I'll cook something new in the house. I think it's a really amazing tool to have on you constantly, and it kind of just gets rid of that doubt in your mind. I am going to do the next test either tomorrow or over the next couple of days. I think I'm going to maybe do the fructose one, and I feel like that's something that I would really like to know a little bit more about, and if I do react to that, and so I will let you guys know, of course. I am literally just got my jogging stuff on because I decided not to do a workout today, but I am going to go for a nice little stroll. I mean, the weather's not amazing here. I mean, it's blue skies, it's very deceiving, but I thought I should get out of the apartment for a bit because I haven't been out. Just get some fresh air, make me feel a little bit better, and yeah, I will update you guys when I do the next test, and I'll speak to you all very soon. So I did the experiment this morning, which you guys will see on the screen, the results. Now, it come up with the FoodMarble that I didn't have any hydrogen detected in my breath, and that the actual fructane itself was digesting perfectly normal in my gut, which is great. However, the only symptom that I would say that I did get was bloating. I got that within an hour of taking the sachet, and the bloating has actually lasted even up until this point. It's now 5:30 in the evening. So I think, to be honest, that would be the only one that I'm seeing a potential issue with, is when I consume too much of that sort of FODMAP, because I will talk about this when I do my roundup in the actual video, but when I do consume too much fructane anyway, I do get symptoms of bloating and IBS. So, I mean, other than that, I haven't had any issues so far, but I've definitely been able to detect the foods that do cause an issue using this device. But I'm glad to see that I haven't had too many issues, to be honest. I thought fructane was going to be like insane and I would just have like really high scores. So it's great to see that I don't have too much of an issue with that one. But yeah, I've really enjoyed using this, and we will do a roundup tomorrow, guys. So guys, we have come to the end of the experiment using FoodMarble. Now, this has been a really interesting journey for me and offered a lot of insight into my gut, IBS, and the trigger foods. Now, have you seen following my journey, I tested for inulin, fructase, and lactose. All come back saying I was totally fine with. And from my day-to-day breathing tests that I did, I noticed that the hydrogen levels were high when I ate a lot of courgettes and food containing MSG. Now, just to give you some quick info, in general, a high score from the breath test means that there's food that has not been absorbed in the digestive tract, and it's being fermented by the bacteria in your large intestine. And for me, I always got a high score when I had MSG or courgette. Now, I was aware that MSG was a trigger food for me at the beginning, but what's really surprised me was seeing bloating and digestive issues with courgettes. I've always believed that I was fine with eating that because, you know, it's a low FODMAP food. But after some research, I found that when you ate around 100 grams or more, it does become a high FODMAP food. And there was definitely days where I was consuming around 100 grams or so in just one meal. And those, funny enough, were the days that I did have bloating and high levels of hydrogen on my breath. Now, overall, I'm really impressed with the FoodMarble device. I love how handy it is to carry around in my bag or my pocket, and it's really helped me to identify a food that I thought was causing me no issues. I've only used this device for about 3 weeks, and I do believe that the more I use it, the more I'm going to be able to identify trigger foods for my IBS as time goes on. So I hope that you guys really did enjoy this video and follow me on my experiment with FoodMarble to check out my trigger foods for IBS. You guys can check out the company in the description box below. And if you want to know the best diet and training program for you, then don't forget to check out the quiz in the description box below also. So now I want to turn it over to you guys. Do you know what your trigger foods are if you suffer from IBS? Let me know in the comments below.